can see clearly the first placement we had, and I was so nervous. I had butterflies. I sort of knew what time they would come in, and I was nervous, excited, scared, everything, because you just don't know you really don't know what it's going to be like. The social worker went, and there was these two little children just sitting there, and you think, well, what do I do next? And so we just sort of got up and we walked around the house and sort of tried to show them where things were. And then we just went and played in the garden, and they sort of run around in the garden. We didn't do anything too major. We just tried to keep it quite low key and relaxed, and kept everybody away because everybody wanted to come and see them, and that was quite difficult as well.
When the girls came, they were timid and very shy, so it was, in a way, it was easy for us in terms of behaviourally. It was easy for us, but it was trying to get a handle on the emotional side of it, which was more difficult and took longer.
Initially, you feel that, oh, I wonder if this child's going to like me. I wonder if this child's going to be happy. But, it's just really trying to get to know the child, and the child trying to get to know you. Our first children, they were lovely. Oh my God, they were lovely. And it gave us the strength also to continue.
With new children coming in, we tend to be more relaxed and more focused. Because before we used to rush around and try and get this done,
I don't know who was more nervous, the children or us. I suppose now you're more experienced as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
After all these years, you know what's what. Well, not everything, but
No.
you know.
Well, at least we know we don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
A lot of times we had planned visits, so you get to know the wee laddie or the wee lassie. Yeah. She might be into these monster dolls or things, or the wee laddie might be into football, so you find that kind of things out about them. So you're kind of preparing it, the groundwork, before they come here.
We had a really good system with Sophie before Sophie came.
That's right.
She was in another foster placement, and the foster carers were going away, so they knew she couldn't stay there. So what they did was they allowed me to go once a week and give the foster carer respite care for 1 day a week. So I met her several times before she actually moved in here, and that was the best system.
In my old placement, I just didn't like it at all. So I thought to myself, I can just run away. I calmed down and settled here because they've taught me not to run away from things and just talk about it and tell them all my feelings.
Initially I was here for a week's respite, and I remember thinking I wanted to stay here full time. I didn't know what was going to happen. Then 11 years later, still here.
Some of the children do actually go back home, so they move back in with their parents, don't they?
Some do, yeah.
Some of them turn 18 and they move on.
The majority of children leave my home and are moved on to adoptive families, which is usually a fortnight's introductions. So we get to know the family, they get to know us, but most importantly, they get to know the child. I take hundreds of photographs and I actually do them albums. They each leave here with a full album of every photograph I've ever taken of them while they're in my care. They have memory boxes. We have, if appropriate, first teeth, first lock of hair if they've had a haircut, first shoes, anything from the family. Anything from the family we keep.
Our events, we have birthdays, and all we got life stories that we build up. And when they're leaving, we put all this on a disc. Before you used to have to print the pictures and put them in albums. Now
put it on a disc.
You put them on a disc, and so they got all that memories.
The silliest of wee things, we ticket stubs or wee memory key rings from being on holiday, all those wee things, and that relates to what they've experienced during their time with you that you mightn't even have remembered, but they can say, oh, do you remember the day we went here? Do you remember the day so-and-so came and they did this and did that? And that's just giving them a sense of identity and belonging, and all those wee things just trigger their memories, which is quite nice.
You know what? It's sad. Doesn't matter how good or bad a pleasant's been, it's still a sad time now to see them go.
You try and think of the positives, sort of the end goal, rather than the letting go. It's sort of what you've given that child, the grounding you've given that child, the experiences, the opportunities that's made that child flourish into, and for them to be able
really to move on. And the goodbyes are important because we've had various goodbyes and we haven't had goodbyes, and it's very important to have that closure.
The grounding that they get from us, you know, the kind of stability that the social work, you know, ask us to provide, it does them the world of good that they can see, and they can, you know, work on it themselves. And like Christine said earlier on about their self-esteem, they're going away from here knowing that they've got capabilities and the confidence.
They're worth something.
And the capabilities and confidence to do it themselves.
And I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel I was able to cope. And it wasn't until I'd done it that I realised I've got all the support around me. I've still, like, my family's still here. Like, there's nothing to be, like, afraid of. It was just, I suppose everyone's afraid of the unknown.
It's a very frightening time. I've got one at the moment who is almost leaving care. He'll be leaving care in a month's time. And although his future in terms of accommodation and everything is really great, he has been strong enough to tell me that he is terrified. So what we did, we sat down and I said, now think about all the things. Whoa, you've got your place right. But look at all the support that's still there. And I listed all his family who would be very helpful. I listed his friends. And I said, and although you will have left me, it doesn't mean to say that I will have forgotten about you. I can't be there every minute of the day, but I'm going to be here. And, you know, you can always contact me.
Even when it came time to get my first job and stuff, you helped with that. I mean, like, I've been there for 9 years now. And it's down to, like, the stability I got at home. Is that if I didn't have that, then your life's, like, erratic. It's all over the place. And, I mean, I didn't have the best start in life, but the time and the effort that was put in after that has kind of repaired that and gave me the chance in life.